All right, so we're going to get warmed up this morning. We're headed to lesson 17 in just a minute. And jump over here to some space and do a little multiplication practice. Remember, we said we wanted to continue doing that to not lose that skill. So we're going to start with 835 times 4. So let's go ahead and put that on our board. Go ahead and work it out. I finished. So I need somebody to raise their hand and tell us what's the first little multiplication problem we do in a problem like this. What's the first one we do, Brandon? Okay, we multiply the 4 times the 5. We go to that ones place first. So 4 times 5 is 20. We're going to put the, what digit do we put here? The 0 here. That's where I'm pointing. And then up here, the 2. Okay, carry that tens place over. All right, now what multiplication problem? Alexander, what comes next? Okay, the 4 goes to the 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 2 more would be what? 14. Put the 4 and carry the 1. Okay. Last part here, Faith, what would we do?
You would multiply 4 and 8 and
Okay.
add the 1.
Okay, exactly what we do. What is 4 times 8?
32.
32 plus 1 more would be 33. So there's our final answer. Okay? I saw that on some boards, but if you did not, look at your answer. If you did not get that, can you see why you didn't get that? Anybody brave enough to share that if you didn't get that? Maybe you all got the right answer? Okay, let's try another one. All right, let's go with that. Looks like it would be everybody's favorite right now. 6 times 2, everybody.
12.
Okay, that answer is 12. With the 2, carry the 1. 6 times 8?
48.
48. Plus 1 more.
49.
Put the 9 and carry the 4. Okay, 6 times 9?
54.
54 plus 4 more. So 55, 56, 57, 58. Okay, 6 times 7?
42.
42 plus 5 more.
47.
47. 47,892. Okay. All right. I have something that this was
Yes.
her boxes are all behind. There we go. Okay. Sure. All right, go ahead and clear off your board and just push that to the corner. Yeah. So, something about this problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
I messed up on the 9. I put an 8 instead of a 9.
Oh, like when you wrote the problem down. You know, I worry about that sometimes when we copy down a problem. It's easy to copy down the wrong number, isn't it? Okay. Or maybe even put them in a different order accidentally. So you do have to be very careful. When we do our exit tickets, you work out the problem on your paper and then put your answer into the computer. You know, that's another place that you've got to be careful so that you type in what you actually got so you don't miss it that way. So thanks for sharing that because that helps everybody. All right, we'll go ahead and move on from here. Yesterday we took a big step into division, didn't we? Okay, and you guys handled it well. You did look a little brain tired after math was over, and I expect that on that day. That's always a day where everybody's kind of like, help me, what is she doing to us? Why? And second period was the same way, and I told them you were the same way, so they wouldn't feel so bad. But it's just one of those kind of, not mind-blowing days, but you know, it's just a big concept, a big thing to understand. So we're going to keep plugging away. We're going to see it again today. So even though on the screen, I don't know if I'll actually put up our true lesson 17 slides. I'm going to borrow problems from that lesson. But if you see things on your problem set later that have place value charts on them, we can ignore those again today. We're not touching the place value chart. We are just going to focus on our standard algorithm. Okay, I'll hang this back up. We'll talk more about this in a little bit. All right. So, we are going to just jump right in with those problems. Use some of these for our practice. Alright, so if we have 36, watch how I write this, 36 divided by 3. Okay, remember, this is the same as 36 divided by 3. But because this number is first when you read it this way, people want to sometimes put that number on the outside, like you're reading it the same way. It's not that way. And typically in 4th grade, the bigger number is going to be inside the division house and the smaller number outside. That's really how we start. Can you switch it? I think the man in the video said something like you couldn't really do that, but you can, but it's not the kind of division we're going to do this year at all. So that's a whole nother thing. So we're not going to go there. So here's our 36 divided by 3. Okay. What is the number inside of that division house called? What is it called? Yes. It's, you got the right ending. It's in the den. Remember? Help him out. Dividend. Dividend. It just takes a little while getting used to that. That's not a word we use in regular everyday conversations. So, all right. So this is our dividend. What is this number called then? No, right here. Okay. What's that called? Yep.
Divider.
Divisor with an S there. Divisor. So dividend, divisor, and what's the name of the number that goes up there? Yeah.
Quotient.
The quotient. And what is sometimes with the quotient, sometimes not, but sometimes with the quotient? A remainder. If this number does not get divided evenly, then there'll be some leftovers, and that's our remainder. Okay? All right, so what would we do? We're going to just slowly walk through some of these at first before we start practicing. What would we do first? Okay, one of the things, hold on before y'all answer that. One of the things that I'm going to start having you do today is to write these letters on the side. We did this last year, and it would help us, Daddy, Mama, Sister, Brother. Now, will you have to do that forever? No, but at first right here, this might help you remember the steps, okay? What do we do for the Daddy, Mama, Sister, Brother? That's just an easy way to remember this. Some people will say, does McDonald's sell burgers? Do monkeys, no. Dirty monkeys smell bad. I think that was one I saw last night. I was looking at some division stuff and I was like, okay, that's it. Another one. So pick the silly phrase you like the best to help you remember this, okay? We want to remember those letters because this tells us to divide. This tells us to what? Multiply. Then we subtract, and then we bring it down. Now, Miss Terry is in our other room when I'm in there in the afternoon for part of that time, and she said that she also includes an R with this sometimes. Okay, so we changed it a little to Daddy, Mama, Sister, Brother, and Rover. We can include the dog named Rover. And that just tells us to repeat. In other words, if you have another digit to bring down, you're going to go back through the steps. Okay? All right, so let's try to do these steps. What comes first? What kind of question am I going to ask myself first? Go ahead.
How many times can you put 30 in the 30?
Okay, I'm so glad you said it that way. I get to pretend that 6 is not even there at first, you know? How many, that, you know what that does? That helps me only have to work with smaller numbers, okay? How many 3s can I get out of 3?
1.
Just 1. If I have
1.
3 candy bars sitting right here, and I say, oh, grab a group of 3 candy bars for us, I'm only going to be able to do that one time. So that 1 would go right above the 3. That's our dividing. We've done that. Now we're going to multiply these two numbers. What is 3 times 1?
3.
3. So we've multiplied. Now we're going to subtract that 3. See, this also keeps our multiplication with smaller numbers, our subtracting with smaller numbers. When we subtract that, we get 0. Are we finished, though?
No.
Not finished. We're ready to bring it down. Okay?
Bring this to
Let your arrow stop right there at that line. Some people will bring it down here and it gets in the way of your numbers, and you've got so much in these problems, you don't want anything to confuse you anymore. So don't make that arrow forever long there. We're going to bring that down, and we are going to repeat here because now we have this 6. All I have to worry about is the 6 right now. I don't have to think about the 3 anymore. How many times can I get 3 out of 6? So it's kind of like starting over. That's why we say repeat. Okay? How many groups? Now, that's a fact family, so that maybe should be ringing a bell. Mason, how many?
2.
Because we know 3 times 2 is 6. So I'm going to put that 2 right here. 3 times 2, he just said was 6. We're going to subtract that. So we've already divided. We've already multiplied. We're ready to subtract. And I put a check mark there because I was thinking of check marks, and that does not go there. So we're going to get rid of that. And put a subtraction sign. And then we're going to take away that 6. And if we've gotten to 0 and there's no more digits to bring down, we know we're finished for sure. And there's no remainder, is there?
No.
Do you have to write remainder 0?
No.
No. Don't even worry about doing that. You don't have to do that.
Just a waste of time.
It is. It is. Okay. Now, let's think most of these are even. I want one that's not. Yeah, let's try that one. Okay. Now, one more time, I'm going to have you just watch and we'll talk through this, but make sure your eyes are up here, guys. Okay? Because you know as well as I do, in a minute or a few more minutes, you're going to be turned loose with this. So sitting there playing in your desk or daydreaming about what's for lunch is not going to help you. Okay? Not with this anyway. So 95 divided by 3. Okay? 95 divided by 3. How many times can I get a group of 3 out of 9? Now think about your 3s. If you get stuck, you can do this to remember your times tables. I'm trying to get as close to 9 as I can without going over. What is 3 times 3?
9.
Yeah, it's exactly 9, so that's perfect. Okay? Three times 3 is 9. Let's subtract it. Let's bring this 5 on down. How many 3s do I get out of 5?
1.
Well, if I look back over here, I know 3 times 2 is too big, isn't it? Okay, so I can't do that one. I've got to back up and do this one. 1. 3 times 1 is 3. So is this going to work out evenly?
No. No. Yes.
I actually have gone back through these, haven't I? Does that work out evenly?
Yeah.
No, if it works out evenly, you don't have a remainder. That's what we mean. That's what we mean. So do we have leftovers this time? Do we have a remainder? Yes, we have a remainder. 31 remainder 2. We don't have to bring anything down this time because there's nothing else to bring down. Okay. All right, so I'm hoping, seeing it a few more times, we're going to practice too, but I'm hoping the more you see it and hear it, and we talk about it, we work these out, the more it'll start clicking, okay? And there are times, I told second period, I like this check off thing, but I draw it sometimes on my board and then I forget to check things off because I'm working through the problem so fast. Right now, you probably don't feel fast at this. You shouldn't. You're brand new with it. In another several days, maybe in a few weeks, it's going to feel more natural. You're going to remember the steps easier. You're going to get faster at things like this. So, don't let it overwhelm you right now. Don't let it feel too big right now because it's not. You can do this. Okay? All right. There is one more thing while I've kind of got your attention before we practice. I do want to show you. I don't know if we're going to have a problem like this on our problem set today. I can't remember every one. If we do, we'll stop and talk about it again. What if we have, let's go back, we had 36 earlier. I'm going to change that because the first time we looked at 36 as our dividend, we had 3 on the outside just a few minutes ago. What if we have a number like this? We've got more than one digit in here, and we have a number that's bigger than that first. Because if I sit here and go, okay, start with a 3. How many 5s can you get out of 3? What's the answer there? Can you get a 5 out of 3? No. So what would I do in that situation, do you think? I know I can get several 5s out of 36, but I can't get one out of 3. So I'm not sure how to start this one. No. Okay. I'm glad you said that because I have had people you can't switch the numbers. Okay. They got to stay there where they are.
How many 5s can you get out of 6?
You don't jump over a number. No, but keep thinking. Keep thinking. Yeah? No, that's a good suggestion. A good, but no, we don't borrow. Okay. I can't get a 5 out of 3, but I know I can out of 36 Because we know 5 would go in there several times. Yeah.
I think you divide them both.
Like keep these together both? Is that what you mean? That's exactly what you do. Okay. So if you come to a number and you can't put the divisor, you can't take that group, it's too large, out of that first digit, okay? Then you're going to look at these together. Okay? And we have to do this sometimes even when this number has like 4 digits. Okay? And we'll see that. It'll be a little while before we get that big. I can't get a 5 out of just 3, but I can out of 36. So now I've got to think about my 5s, and I've got to think about a little bit bigger numbers this time, but not too big. Okay? So I'm going to think 5 times 1 I know is too small. 5 times 2. What's 5 times 3? 15. I got a ways to go. Think about your 5s. You're probably already picturing the 5 that would work here. Y'all tell me when to stop. Okay, good. Okay. We know from our multiplication that I can get 35. Okay. With 7 5s. Okay, so it took 7 5s to get close, because if I do 5 times 8, what is 5 times 8?
40.
40. So that's way too big. Now, watch where I put my number. If I had to look at both of those together, then I'm going to put that part of the quotient, that 7, over here. Because I'm looking at the whole number, not just the 3. Okay? 5. Now, same steps. 5 times 7 is what? We just saw?
35.
So I'm going to subtract 35.
There's 1 left over.
1 left over. That's not big enough to make a group of 5. So
7 remainder 1.
7 remainder 1. Okay? Now, if we would have drawn 36 dots and circled groups of 5, you would have seen this answer super fast. But to do it without any picture type things to look at, that's how we would do it. I wanted to show you that at least one time, because it usually happens where a problem like that kind of sneaks in, and I have to kind of stop then and talk about it. So I wanted to go ahead and show you what you do. Now, I don't see this happening a lot today, but as we go along, it will start showing up where we've got to look at 2 digits together, not just the first one. All right, so grab your marker. We're going to do some practice. Okay. All right, we're going to start with 30 divided by 2. So turn your board the other way. Remember how we turned it tall ways? Because long division does just that. It gets long. Okay, so at the very top, write it this way. I do want you to have practice switching it to the other division symbol. Because that right there gets some people tricked right away. But if you notice that the outside number is like really large and the inside number is a lot smaller, you've probably written it wrong. Also, that thought just left me. What was I going to tell you about that? Oh, this is the other thing. Guys, in 4th grade, we are barely going to even touch having a 2-digit divisor on the outside. So if you see that there's a 2-digit number on the outside, the divisor, you've probably written it wrong also, because you tackle that more 5th grade, 6th grade. Okay. All right, so to write that, it would be 30 divided by 2. Okay. All right, so let's just talk our way through as we work it together. What are we going to do first? Because this is where, yesterday when I started y'all on your problem set, your poor little faces, y'all were like, what do we do? And somebody would maybe write a number or 2, and then everybody kept looking at me like, does she really want us to do this by herself? You know, almost, I felt bad. I felt guilty for giving y'all the problem set yesterday. I was like, I know it's hard at first, but I can already tell you feel a little differently about this today. What would we do first here?
You would.
Hold on. What would we do first? Will, go ahead.
How many twos can you get out of 3?
Yeah, because this is smaller than this, we're going to just look at the 3 right now. Valerie, how many 2s can I get out of 3? If I have 3 of something, how many times can I grab 2? Think about your 2s. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. Okay. How many times can I get a group of 2 out of that 3? 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. Which one of these is not too big?
2 times 1.
Okay, I can get 1 group of 2 out of that 3. So my 1 goes right above the 3. That's where we have divided. Okay. On the side of your board, write Daddy, Mama, Sister, Brother, not the words, but DMSB. Okay, here you go. We can check them off as we go. All right, so what are we going to multiply? If we're supposed to multiply next, what are we going to multiply? Yeah.
2 times 1.
2 times 1. You can draw that. If that helps you remember to multiply, you don't have to do that, but that's just one of those helpful things. Where do we put the 2? Yeah.
You put the 2 under the 3.
Under the 3 so that we can, what are we going to do next? Subtract. Yesterday, you remember how y'all got to working on your problem set, and after a while I asked you a few questions like, does anybody feel frustrated? One of the things I asked them in second period was, did anybody have trouble knowing where to put what number? You know, maybe I asked that in here too, and they did. And so there's just a lot of steps, so stay with us. We're going to subtract here and get 1. What comes next? Bring it down. So draw your arrow. Hold on. That's a 0. And that's a scary thing. So I must put on my scared face. Okay, is that good enough? Alright. Anything different with the 0 here? You bring it down just like you do any other digit, because look, now we have a 10 to look at. Okay? We've brought that digit down. Now we're ready to start again. How many 2s can I get out of?
0.
No, out of
10.
10. That's going to be all together now. Oh, a light bulb should be flicking. A 2, a 10. Yes. The 5 is missing from that fact family. Because 2 times 5 is 10. Okay. What's 10? Take away 10. Definitely 0. Do we have any remainder? No. That's what we call it worked out evenly. Okay. Now you might have already known that 2 15s make 30. Remember our clock math? Okay. That's 15 minutes right there. It's another 15, which makes 30. Now, have you ever heard somebody say it's 8:30? Okay.
Yeah.
That's because it's been 30 minutes. 2 15s make up 30. 3 15s is 45. 4 15s is 60. Okay, that clock really helps you with a lot of things. That clock is going to help us with a lot of things. When we get to module 7, I think it is. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and erase that. Now, this one, we're going to do another one. And I'm going to be a lot quieter and let you work on this first. And then we'll go over it. So I want to give you a chance to do as much as you can on your own. Okay. 42 divided by 3. Okay. Over on the side, Daddy, Mama, Sister, Brother, And Rover.
All right, go ahead and just give it a try. See what you can remember. Because remember, you're trying to get as close to that number as you can.
Right, seeing a lot of, you're remembering a lot of steps. I can't promise everybody's board is 100% correct, but you sure are remembering a lot of steps. Okay. No crying yet, so that's good. What are you asking? Okay, you know that 1 versus 3 can come out 4 times 1. Yeah, now you're ready to ask yourself how many 3s can be like that. Yeah. Think about it. The bell's not coming on. The light's not coming on. Maybe 12. Maybe 30. So you could. Yeah, you should got 4. You should got 3. Oh. All right. So, question. I'm fixing to get caught up with you on the board. You can see what you did correctly. This is right so far. All right. So you would ask yourself first, how many 3s can I get out of 4? Okay, you're only looking at the 4 at first, and most of you had that part. You know that you're only going to get one group of 3. Now, I had some folks put the 1 here instead, accidentally. Okay, but we can get closer to 4 with that 3 than just a 1 there. 3 times 1 is what? 3. That's what I'm going to subtract. Okay, so we've divided, we've multiplied, and now we're subtracting and getting 1. I think a lot of you had that, and you had the bring down part. Bring down that 2. Okay, we have made this number now small enough to look at these 2 digits together. How many 3s can we get out of 12? There's a fact family right there. Yeah, 4. Now, some people wanted to subtract the 4, but if you did that, your answer was way too big. You know, the 4 goes here so that we can go 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm seeing you know a lot of what to do, but just not sure where to put everything. Okay, again, that just takes practice. Yeah.
I had trouble on finding 12 minus 12.
Okay.
I thought I was supposed to subtract 4 from it.
Well, I don't think you were the only one. That's what I was saying, what I was just saying.
I had trouble remembering.
Just keep it. We're going to keep at it. We'll start remembering them better than you think you will soon. You're already better today than you were yesterday. You might not can see it, but I can. Okay. Yesterday, you would like maybe write the problem and then sit there going, I don't even know how to start. Today, you started. You might have gotten mixed up somewhere in the middle, but we started, and we started correctly. Okay. All right, let's try 1 or 2 more. Okay. This one is 84 divided by 3. 84 divided by 3. Okay. All right, go ahead and give that one a try. See if you can remember the steps this time.
Is it long enough?
This is long division. You're good. that's what I subtract. So 3 times 1 Whatever you multiply, whatever you multiply, that's what you're supposed to subtract. Yeah, there you go. All right, fixing to go over this. Okay. That goes up here. 3 times 8 is 24. That's what you're gonna subtract. All right, let's go over this one. Let's see what you remembered of how to do. How many groups of 3 can I get out of the 8?
You can,
Out of the 8.
you can get 2.
I can get 2 because 3 times 2 is 6. That's what I'm going to subtract. I'll multiply here, but that tells me what to subtract. 3 times 3 is 9, and that's bigger than 8, so that was too big. When I subtract that, I get a 2. Okay? What am I ready to do right now? Yes. Drop that 4 down. Bring it down. Now I've got how many 3s are in 24? Now, fact family bell. Fact family light bulb. Yeah. 8. Okay. 8 groups of 3 I can get out of 24. 3 times 8 is 24. And I subtract that, and I have no remainder this time. Okay. Last year I had somebody, and it might have been 2 somebodies because this happened enough where I'm remembering it. I had somebody last year that when we got started with all of this, no matter what number was here, they would go, well, let me erase that first too. No matter what number was here, they would always go, oh, 24? Well, we got to subtract 24. Even if this number couldn't make 24 evenly, they would just subtract what was left. You can't do that. I can this time because 3 times 8 is 24. But you can't just subtract the last number just because it's the last number. You got to subtract as close to that number as you can. And we know sometimes we're going to have some leftovers. This time we didn't. Okay, so 84 divided by 3 is 28. You have a question? You have a question? Anybody get that as a final answer? Okay. A few of you did. How many of you are seeing yourselves make more correct steps as we go? See? Okay. I told you. All right. What if we do one more practice? Okay. Let me double check something too. Let me make sure our numbers. Yeah. You what?
I'm just tired.
Yeah. Hey, we've worked hard. Even though this has been a 4-day week, sometimes those feel longer than a 5-day week. I don't know why, but it happens every time. You're like, yes, this is going to be a short week. It's going to go fast. And no, it doesn't. It just feels like it lasts forever.
Like today's going to.
Yeah, right. This last hour lasted a week long. So, okay, let's go with 47 divided by 4. Let's just do that. Okay. Go ahead and give that a try and go as far as you can with that one. We'll check it in just a second. 7. Okay, let's look at this one. Alright, you simply ask yourself, how many groups of 4 can I get out of 4? Yeah, just one. If I have 4 of something, and somebody tells me to make a group of 4, I'm going to have to take all of that, right? Now, this is how many groups. Charlotte just said I can get one group of 4. Well, those groups go up there. One group of 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Because, see, I'm trying to get as close to that 4 as I can without going over. That's what I'm going to subtract. Okay. And then I'm going to bring down the 7. A lot of you had it up until that point. I know I saw a lot of boards have that. Okay, you bring down the 7, and now you just start over. How many 4s can I get out of 7? If I have 7, how many times can I circle a group of 4 out of 7? Just once. Okay. So, one group of 4. 4 times 1 is 4. I'm going to subtract that and have 3 left over. Okay, 3 is too small to make a group of 4, so it is my remainder. 11, remainder 3. Okay. Now, what if... Okay, just watch for a second because I can't tell you how many times this has happened and it just, ooh, I hate it so much. I have had 4th graders leave their problem just like this and like turn it in. And I had to count it wrong. Well, wait a minute. They have the quotient here, they got 3 left over. But you've got to write that remainder up here, okay? So don't get it wrong simply because you forgot to write it there. They have the remainder sitting right there, but they've got to add it to that answer, to that quotient. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
My mistake was that whenever I got the 3 and the 7 minus 4, I put it as the answer and I had no remainder.
Okay. I'm telling you, what I'm seeing y'all do accidentally wrong right now for most of us is putting things in the wrong spot. Okay? Yeah.
And I didn't vote when I got to the 7, my mom went blank.
Mine went blank. That, you know what, Charlotte, that happens a lot. People get right about there, they bring that first number down, and then it's like, what do I do? And that's why we say, where is it? To repeat just start your steps over again. How many groups can I get out of this new number that that I have here? Once you bring a number down, it's like you're starting over with a new number. How many groups of 4? Miss Terry yesterday said that sometimes to help people, she will tell them to draw this again and put the divisor out there so you'll remember to kind of start over. How many 4s do I get out of 7? If that helps you, you can certainly do that. You don't have to, but you can. All right, go ahead and clear off your board and let's get those put away. And we're going to tackle some problems that are pretty much just like this. Yes. We'll fix them too. Just hang on. We're going to take our break and then we'll come back and do the problem set.